Hello there and welcome to my channel. I normally do food reviews in the car, but today I'm making a recipe. I've actually already made it. And let me tell you, it's raw, vegan, fettuccine. Well, it's actually not fettuccine. I would say it's raw, vegan, angel hair pasta with, get this, raw, dehydrated, in the air fryer tomatoes. I didn't realize the air fryer has a dehydrate button on it. So we are going to, and you know what? I've said this before. I don't know what it is, but when I wear these glasses, my eyes get blurry. And then when I take them off, it looks, ooh, what is that on my windowsill? Oh, look, look, look. Oh, it's a little lizard. Look. Can you see him? Because, like, you know, I have the phone to where I can normally see myself. Can you see him? He's looking at my little Ganesh. Okay, so did you see him? I don't know if you did or didn't. Oh, it's hot in here. Hey Google, what's the temperature on Nest?
It's currently 77 degrees.
I don't know what it is. Oh, because this shirt is really thick. Hey Google, change Nest to 76. You know what it might be? It might be the, no, because it doesn't get that hot. Because let me show you. I've been dehydrating these since, well, it's like 2 o'clock, and I dehydrated them last night since like 8 o'clock at night, and now it's 2 o'clock the next day. Oh, he's like moving now. Can you see it? They didn't like shrivel up, you know, and because well, a little bit, but they're just barely warm to the touch. Okay. Oh, 1 second. So, what I did, this is what I do, okay? I take zucchini, I think they also call them courgettes, I'm not sure, but, and if someone in the comments can tell me, is there a taste between the green and the yellow? Because today I used green, but I also got yellow. And if I remember right, I think I like the green better, and I think one of them is more sweeter. But so what I did is I used this. It makes noodles, right? Now, I make the noodles to keep these raw, right, but also not crunchy and hard. All I do is after I make these, and yes, I peel them because I don't want to see the green, right? And then I use that machine to make the spiral noodles. Then I put salt on this. Not a lot, but enough, and lightly move the salt around. And what that does is that draws out the moisture and softens them up and makes them pliable. Okay, you can also do that with cucumber. I saw a Japanese chef, he did that. He actually like made it look like a snake moving in the water, and it made the cucumber, look at this, pliable and like moving, you know. So, and then because I'm supposed to not have so much salt in my diet, but you don't have to do this, then I rinsed it with water and then drained it really well. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to squeeze it to get all and wring it out, because when you do it just doesn't, it actually makes it like the texture just doesn't work. So that's what I do. Okay, so my sauce, I'm gonna pour my sauce on. This is completely raw Alfredo sauce. Oh, bear with me. Showed you the thumbnail. I don't want to use too much because I want to save this. No, I'm going to put more than that. Let me put this here. Can you see that? Me and my thumbnails. I have to. Well, that might be plenty. So, you're probably wondering what is in here. Let me tell you. I have made Alfredo sauce by myself before without following a recipe. And sometimes it turns out okay, and sometimes it does not turn out okay. I found some things that work. Let me show you and tell you about what works, okay? First of all, I've talked about this part before. You think it's a commercial for this product or it's sponsored. Right here, check this out. Got Natural Grocers. Now, I normally don't get the basil. I just get this brand. Okay? It's just garlic and oil and stuff, okay? And it is raw vegan. If it's not, well, don't complain to me. Then the company's lying. I'm not, okay? This product is amazing. So what I do is I put this in my Vitamix. Then I use right here, which is like the best cashew. It's not just the best cashew butter, it's just the best. Like, this tastes better than regular cashews. Like, it's just the best cashew anything. And it doesn't stink. You know, sometimes cashews, they start stinking. I can't explain it. Okay, so, and it's also certified raw, okay? And then pine nuts. Yes, they're expensive. Use them to your liking. But I love pine nuts. Also, not roasted. They're completely raw. And then, of course, nutritional yeast. And the onion powder, which I put up. A little bit of both apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. A little bit more apple cider vinegar and lemon juice. But not a lot of apple cider vinegar, right? So it's like a little bit of lemon juice and just a little bit more apple cider vinegar, like that, right? Salt to your liking. Then I add just a little bit of water. Let me see what else I forgot. Nutritional yeast, I already said, the onion, the garlic, the pine nuts, the cashews. Then I just add, and that's what, let me show you about my Vitamix. Like, the blade, you just have to cover the blade. Just add enough of water to cover the blade to get it going, okay? Then it may be a little bit liquidy, like runny. So when you make your noodles, your zoodles, right? Take the pieces that are left over, right? And put it in your Vitamix, and that will thicken up the sauce so it's not so runny. And that's what I did, and I only used a fourth of one, and it's pretty thick. Of course, if it thickens too much, you can add water. But just keep in mind, if you add a lot of water and a lot of the zucchini, the flavor is not going to be as strong. Okay, and then you may have to add more salt, which, you know, that's not the best thing. I'm trying to stay away from salt. I know there's other things you can add for salt replacement, like celery and things. I wish I liked celery. I don't like it. So, I'm going to plate it and put some tomatoes on it, and then we're going to have a little talk. But when your parents told you that we're going to have a little talk, that wasn't a good thing, was it? Oh, I hated that. My dad would say, like, we need to have a talk. I'm like, oh, God, what is it now? We had a lot of those. He was always getting on me for something. And that's another thing. I was not a bad kid. I was not a bad kid at all. I was one of those goody-goody kids that never got in trouble in school. I only got in trouble one time that I can remember. One time. Maybe I should tell you. You know what? I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it. How about that? The one time that I remember I got in trouble. I mean, it's possible I got in trouble more than that, but I honestly don't remember. Oh my goodness, it's better than the real thing. It's not so heavy. I put the tomatoes on. Again, in the air fryer. They're barely warm now. Make it look real pretty. So let me tell you. I was not good in school. I make tomatoes. I was not good in school, right? There was like resource, and then there was special ed, resource, regular classes, and advanced. It was like, okay, resource, special ed, regular classes that most people took, and then advanced. I think advanced with honors or whatever, and then you could skip a grade. So here's special ed. I was at resource. I was right below regular classes. I think they put me on special ed at the beginning, but it was way, like, I didn't learn anything. And the sad thing is, let me tell you something. The sad thing is I didn't learn anything in school until high school. Because let me tell you what happened. I remember in junior high. Let me tell you what happened. I remember in junior high, for like math class and English class, we would just watch movies. We watched The Never-Ending Story all the time, The Goonies all the time, and then whatever, okay? Or we'd play games. We'd play a lot of games too. You know, it was just ridiculous. Like, the teachers, like, when I had a spelling test, like, the teacher basically stood right over you and just gave you the answer. So anyway, let me tell you. So when I hit high school, I was still in resource. Well, you know what? Give me 1 second and I will tell you what happened. That one time I got in trouble. All right, I'm back and I doctored up the plate. See? I'm so proud of me. Okay, so when I graduated, there was no such thing as the TOS test. But then we went to block scheduling, so we didn't take, like, I don't know if you know about block scheduling, but basically what it is you go to 4 of your classes on a Monday, then the other 4 on a Tuesday, then the ones you took on a Monday you go on a Wednesday, and then the ones you took on a Tuesday you do on a Thursday. And so it's like every other day, right? So 4 classes, and the 4 classes, and the past classes, and it's called block scheduling. And it actually gave us more time in class. I don't know how that worked out, but it did. And I don't know if block scheduling still exists, but my school was telling me that they did it to help with the TOS test because we had more time to study. The only thing this needs is some lemon zest. I wish you were here to taste this. It's so good. I put nutritional yeast on top. So, let me tell you what happened. In the 10th and 11th grade, there was no more resource. I had to take regular classes. I went from not learning anything to learning. This is going to sound ridiculous, but I basically didn't even know how to spell into the 10th grade. I'm sorry. Yeah, wait. 11th grade. 11th and 12th grade. The last 2 years is when I took regular classes. Up until then, I mean, I knew how to spell, but I barely knew how to spell. And I was taking like pre-algebra or introduction to pre-algebra. It was not easy. It was not easy. So, we had the TOS test, and I knew I was going to fail. I just knew it. And you had all day to take the TOS test, like it was not timed. You could get there early in the morning and stay until literally, I don't think you could take the next day. I think you had the whole day. I don't think you had 2 days. So I think it had some limit on it. I wasn't the last person to leave in the English and math part. I was one of the first persons to leave in the reading part. Because for some reason, like, I don't know why, but the crazy thing is, I was in advanced reading in junior high. Isn't that weird? That didn't make no sense. But I don't know how to spell with anything, and I can barely add. Barely. So, I was there all day, taking the TOS test, and they, had, it was in the lunch cafeteria to take the TOS test. No, I take that back. We had to move to the cafeteria because there was other classes going on. All I remember was in my foods, right? In my foods class, we had a substitute teacher. I remember now. So the TOS test was a separate thing. Yeah. And we took that in the class and then cafeteria and then library as you stayed longer, right? So let me tell you, I'm getting to it. I didn't think I was going to pass the TOS test. But what had happened when we had a substitute teacher for our foods class, and some of the kids in there were being bad and talking and whatnot. So when the bell rang for lunch, she was like, nobody's going to leave. Y'all going to stay until the principal comes. And so the bell rang, and I'm like, well, I didn't do anything wrong. Why should I have to stay here? Like, you're not going to deprive me of eating. You know, going to the bathroom, drinking water, and eating is like a thing that we all need, humans need to do, otherwise we'll die. And I didn't do anything wrong, and I don't believe in massive punishment. I think it's criminal to do massive punishment. It's absolutely insane. So, I waited a while, and it was taking forever. I mean, forever. Okay? I'm talking about like, about half of my lunch period was already over. So I left. I told her, I was like, look, the class is over with. I'm leaving. She goes, you're going to get in trouble for that. I was like, I'm going to go eat my lunch. So I left. And got in big trouble. I got Saturday detention. I never got in trouble before, okay? Like, ever. So I had Saturday detention. When I got home, my father told me that the TOS test results came in the mail. Dehydrated tomatoes have so much flavor. So, I should put on more in here. So let me tell you, so, I was like, let me guess. I knew I passed the reading. I know I did. I know it. But I know I flunked the math and the writing because I can't spell. The reading I know I passed. Because let me tell you, on reading, it's so easy to pass reading. Instead of reading the thing, right? The information and then answering the question, I never read. I went straight to the question and I just skimmed like the and, you know, like a, the, and it, you know, whatever, like I passed that and was like the main words, like a person's name or, you know, like a plate, but if it said like a porcelain plate, then I would stop and like what kind of plate that was. And I would just scan it. And then I would go back to the reading that you're supposed to do and scan for that and look up and look ahead and then after and see where that pertained to that to answer the question. Now, if you would have told me to read and you can't go back and you had to do it with memory, oh, I would be the worst. I wouldn't, because I have either ADHD. I can't pay attention. If you was to tell me a story and then answer questions, I would completely fail. I'd be the worst. And that's how I got around that. So, he's like, you passed. And I was like, yeah, probably the reading. And he was like, no. I was like, I didn't pass the reading. I kid you not. My dad said, you passed all 3 portions of the TOS test. I'm like, I know I didn't. He showed me my results, and I just could not believe it. I couldn't believe it. I knew they had me mixed up with someone else. And a week or a month or whatever later, they would say, I still have nightmares sometimes. I've had them a long time. But I used to get nightmares. They had to go back to school because they determined that the scoring was messed up. Somehow, like, I got someone else's results. But yeah, I passed the reading, the writing, and the math. You hear I'm kind of crunching on it? That's because I did wring it out just a little bit, and I shouldn't have done that. That's why I told you earlier not to do that. I had it bad in school. I got made fun of so bad. Oh, that's another thing. I could tell you the things that's happened to me in school. Horrible. Horrible things. Not only was I made fun of, let me put some more tomatoes on here and some basil. Not only was I made fun of by the pupils, but the teachers were like on me too, making fun of me. It was bad. I came really close to dropping out. When I say close, I mean really, give me 1 second, really close. I'm back. But yeah, I've been through a lot of shit in my life. I'm still working on my little autobiography book thing or whatever. Maybe I should add that. because I've skipped around, like, well, not skipping around, but like, I've just been through a lot of stuff. It's hard to remember every single thing. And when I focus, with my OCD, I tend to hyper focus on one thing. Um, I've had a lot of losses in my life. I've been abused by so many people in so many different ways. I've had major losses. A lot of people have regrets. They're like, well, I was a bad person, or I shouldn't have did that, or I shouldn't have did this. The only thing I regret is trusting people. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. I don't like raw tomatoes. But when you cook them, in this case, dehydrate them, the flavors are just so intense. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. It just squirted at me. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't even see the plate. Well, now you do. I hope you do. Oh, wow, the sauce is getting kind of watery all of a sudden. Mmm. Oh my goodness. Mmm. Before I pass this world, I am determined. Before I pass this world, I am determined to find something, a lifestyle, whatever, that is going to make me so freaking happy and joyful to make up for all the damn depression. And that might be magic mushrooms, psilocybin, and maybe ketamine. I don't know. Soon I'm going to go to a clinic where they do treatment resistant. They do. It's for treatment resistant depression, and I'm hoping. I don't think they're gonna have psilocybin magic mushrooms, but I'm hoping that they have maybe ketamine, because I've heard it's really promising. Um, but I heard it's really bad on the kidneys and it can mess your kidneys up. So if they do offer it to me, I don't want a lot. I just want a little bit. You know, if I had choice between increasing my depression drastically and living a happy life, but messing up my kidneys, or not messing up my kidneys and not having, horrible side effects, but just helping my depression a little bit, then I'll pick a little bit, because a little bit's better than nothing. But they have chocolate bars online, but I think they're illegal. Well, it just depends, because I live in Texas. I know psilocybin is illegal in Texas, but they have chocolate bars. They're like $40, and then there's $25 for shipping and handling, and they have psilocybin in it, and there's 12 pieces. And some people say you're supposed to take one piece for microdosing, but I looked it up, and a lot of people do not do the math. No, 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 no. You need to start out I would start out, I'm not going to say you, I would start out with the 12 pieces, but then take one of those 12 pieces and cutting it in half 3 times, and then starting out with one of those, maybe once a week, and then work my way up to 2, and then 3, and then once I'm at 3, or maybe actually probably just work my up to 2 and then that's it. But I may work my way up to 3, which would then be a full square. And then that's it. And maybe only do one full square like once every 2 weeks or maybe once a month just to keep. But I don't know. I've heard some people say that it, like you don't have to keep taking it. Like after a couple weeks or a couple months, like you can just lay off of it for like a year or two. Because I'm not looking to get like high or see things or trip and just have an amazing, awesome time. No, I'm just barely enough to change my chemistry in my brain because I have clinical depression and medical well documented OCD and anxiety. Like this is not like, some people say, I'm having anxiety, I'm so stressed out. Anxiety and stress is not the same thing. I'm sorry. Those people that say that, you have no idea. You may be stressed out and you may know stress very well. But stress and anxiety is not the same. That's why they say stress and anxiety, not stress is anxiety. You know, you can have stress and not have anxiety. But of course, if you have anxiety, that's stressful. But like stress is like, I gotta work an extra 2 hours today at work. I don't want to be here. Anxiety is I'm scared as shit. I'm fearful. Something bad's gonna happen. And I'm scared. Like a bully, or like, 4 or 5 bullies, big muscular guys that are like in gangs, and they have you in the corner, and they're going to hurt you really bad. And you cannot get away. And you want to get away, but you can't. And you're scared shitless. Yeah, that's anxiety for me. And so, anyway, that's my little, I don't know, food review / I don't know what you want to call this. It's definitely gotten to story time though. Until next time, I'm going to try to eat more raw foods. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, I'm going to become a full raw vegan. No, I'm just going to start integrating more raw foods into my life and try to eat less and drink more water. And I don't know what. Hey Google, what's the temperature on this? I'm like sweating. Hey Google, change this to 75. I normally have it like close to 80 degrees in this house because of my arthritis. Listen to this.
Okay, setting the home to 75 degrees.
Until next time, have an awesome day.